All right, Rabbi Sai, since I'm not going to have the schus of having you by my Seder night, I thought I'm going to try something that we haven't done for a while. And that is, we're going to talk a little bit about Leila Seder. You know, many of the things that I hear from the Olam is, it's so boring, it's hard to connect to, what's the point? I'd like to share with you a couple of ideas that I myself share with my family, and perhaps if you listen to some of these ideas, it might change the idea that you have of what Leila Seder is, and perhaps give you a new perspective on what Leila Seder is all about and what you can accomplish personally from Leila Seder. I want to start today with just a Haggadah, an introduction, just to understand what is Leila Seder, what are we doing, what are we trying to accomplish, what's going to happen. Perhaps if we have this introduction, we might understand a bit more, appreciate a bit more, and connect a bit more as well. Be'ez Hashem. There's a Moedik Zohar Kodesh. The Zohar Kodesh tells us in Parshas Boy that the night of Pesach is one of the times that we are the most closest to the Rabbeinu Shalom. In fact, the Zohar Kodesh tells us that the Rabbeinu Shalom comes to the Seder of every Yid. That means everything that's around you, the table, the tablecloth, the plates, the chairs, the candles, everything joins together in one reality. And everything bonds together to cry, to rejoice, to praise the Rabbeinu Shalom. Everything becomes a part of the Seder. Now, we have to understand that we can gain things on Leila Seder that are simply not accessible the rest of the year, right? Even though you may look at your Seder, you might like, okay, not my Seder. My Seder is a balagan. There's kids running all over the place. There's noise. There's wine spilling. There's crazy situations going on. What Kedusha? What holiness is that? You have to realize that even if you're not even into it, even if you don't even feel anything, just listen to this amazing idea. There's an unbelievable Targum Yonason ben Uziel. Listen to this. You can look it up yourself. Shmos Yotes Dalet. The Targum Yonason ben Uziel says something completely astounding. He says that on Seder night in Mitzrayim, we assume, how did they bring the Korban Pesach? They brought it. We know all the halachas, the psukim. They did it in Mitzrayim. Says the Targum Yonason ben Uziel. I saw this in Ramosha Wolfson's Sefer. He says that the Rabbeinu Shalom took the Ananei HaKavod, took Klal Yisrael, and brought them to Har Habayis. Can you imagine? And they did the Korban Pesach over there, and then he brought them back to Mitzrayim to experience Yetzias Mitzrayim. This is unbelievable. Asks the Oyev Yisrael, the Heilige Abter Rov, I don't understand. Yeah, it sounds amazing. But why would the Rabban Shalom do this? What was the point in this? After all, they were in Mitzrayim, they were going back to Mitzrayim, they were experiencing Yetzias Mitzrayim. Why do you have to come back? Why do you have to go to Eretz Yisrael? In order to have the Korban Pesach by specifically over there in Bahar Habayis and then come back? What was the point? Listen to the Oyev Yisrael, it's astounding. He says the Rabbeinu Shalom wanted to show Klal Yisrael that even though you're in Mitzrayim, and even though you saw with your own eyes the tremendous miracles, but after all, who are you? You're on the Memtes Shari Tumah. You're on the lowest rung, pretty much, one before the lowest, of the Shari Tumah. So Klal Yisrael could have easily said to themselves, what's the point? We're on such a low level. Where are we going to get to anyway? Zugda Abtarov, the Rabbeinu Shalom wanted to show Klal Yisrael. No. Absolutely not. You know what this is going to lead to? You're going to get to Eretz Yisrael. You're going to be the mitzvahs. You're going to be great. Know that however low you are holding, whatever situation you're in, don't worry. You can get to the highest Kedusha. You can get to Har Habayis. Ramosha Wolfson Zatzal explains that this happens every single Pesach. Not only are we uplifted, but our homes are brought to Yerushalayim to eat the Korban Pesach. Rabbi said that's what's happening on Leila Seder. I'll tell the owner one last thing. Last night I was in a store. This can only happen in Eretz Yisrael. The owner of the store comes running over to me. He shows me excitedly the sefer of the Yisod Yosef. Yisod Yosef was the Rebbe of the Heilige Kavayusha. And he writes like this, unbelievable, that if a person says the Haggadah with tremendous simcha, all the nisim can happen to him. Tzaddikim tell us that which a person cannot accomplish on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, he can accomplish on Leila Seder. Rabbi Sahib was just an introduction, just to get you a little bit into it. Mitzvah Shem will continue, but just recognize the opportunity of the night of Leila Seder. Have an amazing day.